Alan, do we ever actually experience anything from those solar storms? I mean, I get a decent tan when they come through, but other than that...
That's not from Jersey? That's from the solar storm?
It's mostly from Jersey. Yeah, no, I think... I mean, it's not like, an old-timey disaster movie. I think there have probably been a handful of those kinds of movies where a solar storm knocks everything out of whack. I don't think it's like that, but I think that there are some grids that, can be affected. I don't know. It's still fun to think about, though. Imagine if we moved into our new studios, finally. And this is a couple of weeks away. Imagine if we moved into our new studios and the whole system got fried immediately, like within the first week by a solar storm or something that was hooked up the wrong way. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I know that we dismantled our studios in Independence, but we're going to have to go back there and figure out a way to make it all work. Guardians lost last night. They got one apiece against the Diamondbacks now, so they're playing currently. Top of the fifth, Guardians 1-0. This is the last in the series. This will be the tiebreaker here. And then they'll stay at home through the week and play those cheating Houston Astros. Cheating. Terrible cheaters.
Cheaters.
I probably.
Big cheaters.
And so that's what's going on there. You're a crypto guy. Did you lose any crypto in this thing? I was reading about this.
I haven't checked anything.
Oh, no.
Let me check. I mean, I have very little crypto.
Oh,
I
okay.
have maybe $200.
But you're making money
total.
off of it, aren't you?
I've made money off of it, but
Yeah.
I made a decent chunk a few years ago when Bitcoin was going back up, and then I sold that off and used it for my condo. Mm-hmm. And so ever
you
since
got in
then,
and got out at the right time.
I've dabbled a little more, still in the black, like made money off of it. And then I just was like, okay, I'm happy with what I've done. I'll throw a little bit more in there and just see what happens. Let's see what's going. Let's see if it's still intact, though.
Because I thought that the whole promise of the blockchain was it was supposed to be unhackable. I thought that was the whole selling point for decentralized currency.
But doesn't mean your account is unhackable, though.
Well, what the hell does that mean? What good is that if... Because this isn't federally insured. It's not like you're in a bank. You lose your crypto, it's gone. And one of these... On the one hand, you got some of these websites that are going bankrupt. Some crypto firm just had people emptying money because they basically cut and paste. Mm-hmm. They cut and pasted what I guess the initial thief had done or whatever. They just, $190 million theft.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Out of a firm called Nomad. I don't know how these things work, but the initial, I remember a few years ago we had this big meeting here in the building with this company that was going to, the blockchain is going to revolutionize. Listen, it might. Someday that they might, figure everything out. Crypto's not going away. But right now, it's certainly not the panacea that everybody seemed to try to make it out to be.
Which is why you should buy while it's low.
Oh,
buy low, sell high.
And by low, I mean zero. Mm-hmm. $190 million got pulled out of this by this crypto firm. And obviously, this isn't brand new. This kind of stuff happens all the time now. And so this company's like, yeah, we're aware. We're looking into it. We're kind of trying to figure out how to fix this. But any situation where you can just cut and paste what the first guy did and start taking money out,
not great.
Not great. That is the exact opposite of unhackable. That's like what a person who knows nothing about IT could do. Cut and paste.
Correct.
Right click. Hey, look, I'm a millionaire.
People who invest in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency, is that all they do? Is that their job? Because I happen to know.
I know some people that they.
I know a couple Bitcoin millionaires. Like they have
They do the Bitcoin, what is it?
Mining,
yeah, and that
there
can
are
be pretty
people.
lucrative.
Yeah, you can listen. There is a lot of money to be made, but there's also a lot of money to be lost. Mm-hmm. And I guess it just depends on what your risk aversion level is.
Okay, yeah, because I know a friend, and I never really asked because I guess it's really none of my business. I know he made his money in Bitcoin, and
he cashed out at the right time. You mean? Because to say
you're
listen, all these people that just had their money stolen were also crypto millionaires.
I think
Now they're crypto zeronaires
I think he
because it was stolen.
I think he invested early.
Another dollar menuaires.
Right.
Maybe. So he invested early and then pulled out like when it started to get hot. And then like he has millions of dollars now, and I'm like, he has a really nice apartment. Like I've been in there, and I'm just like, well, what do you do? I don't want to sound rude.
Where does he live?
I don't want to say where he lives, but it's a luxurious.
We don't know
apartment.
who you're talking about.
It's in the flats. It's a really nice apartment.
So he has millions of dollars and he rents an apartment?
He may own it.
Well, those are all rentals in the flats.
It's like a condo.
Huh.
You can own it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really nice apartment. But like I'm just like,
Think you buy a house.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think he lives here. I think he has a place here then goes elsewhere. So I want to know, is he like a socialite or?
It's like, hey man, I gotta keep a place in Cleveland, Ohio when I'm out jet setting.
Hey,
I gotta have a pied-a-terre there in the Forest City.
it's not a bad idea because it's always you can always sell everything else off and keep the cheaper rent in Cleveland.
That's true.
Cheaper mortgage.
Yeah, my account got hacked. I guess it's back to the flats. Mm-hmm. I was reading about this dude in England who was spending $13 million to try to find a hard drive in a landfill that he forgot.
Yeah.
Did you read about that? That he forgot had Bitcoin on it. And this is going back a ways. This sounds like one of the first guys to get in. 10 years ago, this guy in England threw away a hard drive, forgetting that he had Bitcoin on it that he says is worth $184 million. And so he's going to spend $13 million digging up a landfill, except this isn't like one of these, this isn't one of these, it doesn't sound like one of these external hard drives.
Yeah, if
It sounds like it was in a laptop,
if it's
which means that thing's gone.
it's not going to be operational.
You kiss that away. Like there's no way it would survive that long.
No, I mean, it would be shattered when it fell, when the garbage truck dumped your garbage into the landfill, it would be destroyed.
Hell, if they could extract that, Hillary would be in bad shape. Like they can't extract stuff like that.
What?
Hard drives.
Yeah, okay. Well, this guy's, he's spending $13 million to try to get this hard drive out. He said he would give 10% of the proceeds to turn the city he lives in into a cryptocurrency hub. Sure.
Too much stuff can go wrong.
Local people don't want him to dig up the landfill because they say it's going to be bad for the local environment. He accidentally threw away a hard drive in 2013 after mining 8,000 Bitcoin in the first stages of the cryptocurrency development. And he said that it was, about a year ago, it was worth over $200 million, but it fluctuates a lot. And so he says it's worth a lot less now. But the city owns the landfill, and he's trying to give them $13 million to see if he can find it.
That's pathetic.
Well, I mean, listen, if you think you've got something that has $200 million on it, you'd spend 13 of your own money. I don't know that that's a good bet. You have $13 million of your money, right? An inherent store of value, which crypto is not.
I would just hang on to the $13 million.
I'd hang on to the $13 million. This is that
that's
chasing mentality that gets people broke real fast.
Like, honestly, you're better off buying $13 million worth of Bitcoin than digging around in a landfill for $180 million worth of Bitcoin. Like, you're not going to find it.
No.
And if you do find it, it's unlikely to be operational.
All the Bitcoins would have spilled out.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be sifting through plastic bags and milk cartons trying to find them Bitcoins.
Boy, did I really wish you could swim through coins because of Scrooge McDuck.
It just looks dirty to me.
Scrooge
McDuck?
Did you ever watch him swim through those coins? It looked glorious. He's spitting them out like water.
But they're not water.
I know.
It's
occupies, a cartoon.
It occupies a different state physically than water.
Yes.
You know how dirty coins are?
His were clean.
How?
I don't know. He kept them in his money bin.
Unless he was minting them himself, they wouldn't have been clean. They would have been passed through. They're currently circulating.
He probably cleans them before he puts them into the money bin.
Big logical issues with Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, well,
there's no way that money's
crazy
clean.
technology to keep that money safe. Also, the fact that he kept it all in gold coins, all his money in gold coins.
Well, that's
Smart
the flex.
move,
Yeah, but also, how did he acquire his wealth?
The same way all the wealthy people do, exploiting the labor of others.
In cartoons? Oh, is that what it was?
I don't remember.
Once Huey, Dewey, and Louie said they wanted to unionize, he stomped it out right away. Yeah.
How did Scrooge McDuck get rich?
I mean, I think that Scrooge, the name Scrooge, they're trying to imply that he's just miserly, that he never spends money, so he has a lot of it. But you have to acquire it.
Well, he apparently struck gold during the Klondike Gold Rush. That was some of how that's how he got his first chunk of money. And then he kept building from there.
That's how he got his initial.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That was like the late 1800s. How the hell old is Scrooge McDuck? He got his money in the Klondike Gold Rush.
That's what
That was in Canada.
Yeah.
Is he Is he a Canada goose?
I don't know.
He's a duck. He's not Scrooge McGoose. It's Scrooge McDuck. See, this is all. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is all falling apart. The legacy of Scrooge McDuck, because his entire identity is tied up in being wealthy, in showing off his largesse. And if it turns out now that his story is all falling apart, he's Canadian, or he went up to Canada, that's how and just consider the monetary transfer rate. Who knows how much money that is worth? In loonies and toonies, whatever it is. He made his money in the Klondike Gold Rush. All right.
Okay. So this is
swimming through them coins,
This is according to Quora.com. When Scrooge McDuck was 10 years old, he was completely broke. He earned his first dime when he cleaned the mud from Bert the ditch digger's shoes. He spent his teenage years traveling the world and working, and sent most of his money home. And then the Yukon Gold Rush, and then let's see. Yeah, I mean it's then he owned a fast food chain, I guess, McDuck's. So I think
a fast food chain.
Yeah.
Did they serve chicken? Because that would have been terrifying. That would have been a crime against his own people. A crime against his own species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any poultry. That's
wow. Okay. So that's how he did it.
Yep.
That's how he made his money. That's how
birds
Scrooge
won't eat other
McDuck.
Birds. Huh? I mean, I know a duck probably wouldn't eat another duck, but would a duck eat like a sparrow if they had to?
They're all birds. They're all fowl. They're all feathered friends.
But are they friends, really?
Well,
that's what I want to know.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying there's a lot of questions here going down the hole with Scrooge McDuck.
He also invested in the stock market.
But how old is he? The Klondike Gold Rush is like turn of the century. Of the last century.
He was an old man on the show, and I think that goes back to his original inception, which was probably in the 60s. So if he was... But still, yeah, that's pretty
That
old.
would make him old.
Yeah,
that would make him
old.
like 80 when they first introduced the character. But I guess if your whole identity is what happened in the past, he's currently rich, but here's the origin story.
They discovered a massive gold nugget in the Yukon. So maybe not necessarily during the gold rush, but he just found it in the Yukon.
Back then, though...
Take that, Cornelius.
I was going to say, prior to the California gold rush, the Yukon was kind of shorthand. That's where everybody was going. Because like you said, Yukon Cornelius. Mm-hmm. Yukon was shorthand for people getting rich up in Canada and then going down the West Coast. I don't even know where the Yukon is. I just know it's in Canada. So that's how he got rich. Okay. Was he married? I never watched Scrooge McDuck. I know the character. I'm familiar with the swimming in the coins.
I don't think he was married. And he was just taking care of his nephews and...
Huey, Dewey, and Louie weren't his nephews, though, right? Those were Donald Duck's nephews. Was Scrooge McDuck part of the family?
He was like their great uncle, I think.
Great uncle,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all related.
And was he miserly with, was he kind with his money to them?
I mean, he was still a penny pincher, but he would take care of them, and they had, a relationship where he was tough on them, and they would be a little bit disobedient to them, but they'd all learn lessons together. You
know why his name is McDuck? Because the character is described as being Scottish-American.
And then he went up
Does he have an accent?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I'm Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Okay. He's created in 1947. So he wouldn't have been that old if he's like, I made my money from the Klondike Gold Rush.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then they have to update it eventually because now he could have just made it from investing in IBM in the 70s or something.
Right. He's part of Clan McDuck, so they're all family. His Scottish heritage.
So
he's a Glaswegian.
Is Donald Duck? Is his name Donald Duck McDuck?
I don't know about that. They live in Duckburg, which is where Donald Duck lives.
I think that's something when you create a world and you make everything have to be ducks, you paint yourself into a corner real fast.
Not only that, but also when your surname...
Like, imagine if everywhere we lived, every city was Humanville.
That's what I'm saying.
People Town.
Right. We're going over to Dudeburg. How do you want to... And when your surname is what you are, that's weird, too. He's not Donald Smith, who's a duck.
Right.
He's Donald Duck. So, you'd be like Bill Mann.
Yeah.
That would be your full name.
It was Mickey Mouse.
William Scott Mann.
Donald Duck.
Yeah.
And there are people with the last name Mann, so that one kind of works. Michael Mann made one of the
That's
most okay
ends.
movies of all time.
Okay. Heat?
Yeah, that's the most okay movie of all time.
It is the greatest movie of all time. Man, that's Man with two N's.
Still,
M-A-N would be a
sounds like
weird...
it.
I know. I'm just saying if it was printed out, M-A-N for man would be weird.
Yeah.
So Donald Duck was probably created... So Donald Duck was created before Scrooge McDuck, which really screws up your time-space continuum.
What's silly with Disney is you have Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, and then Goofy. His last name's Goof.
Goofy Goof?
Yeah.
Goofy Goof.
Yeah.
All right.
What's Goofy's full name?
He says he's a dog face. Oh, no. Goofy.
GG Goofy Goof.
Okay, GG Goofy Goof. Well, okay.
Dippy Dog, George G. Goof.
Yeah.
Goofus D. Dog.
George G. Geef. Goofus D. Dog. All right. Well, listen, all kinds of amazing things going on there in Duckville or Duckburg or whatever, yeah. Monica Lewinsky has a problem now with Beyonce, too. I was talking yesterday about how the people are upset with Beyonce because she has the word spaz in a song on the new album, and this Lizzo did the same thing a few years ago. And she got in trouble, and now Beyonce is because...
The Lizzo thing was earlier this year, I think.
Oh, was it? I thought it was
I don't think it was
ago.
that long ago. I think it was just this year.
And Monica Lewinsky's like, well, I guess now's my time to ask, hey, could you take my name out of one of your songs?
Out of Partition. I talked about this in the podcast.
She wants her name removed from Partition, which is a song from 2013. I guess I didn't realize how filthy Beyonce is.
Oh, she a dirty
Her
girl.
music has changed.
Because I still think of her like, the single ladies, the single... I know that was probably Destiny's Child, but I mean, early on, it seemed more R&B poppy, whatever, like, to the left, to the... And now it's all like stretch marks on my teats, and she's flopping all over my, all this stuff. I'm like, she's filthy. And she's,
Well, that album, that visual album, was like the rebirth of what she wanted her image to be.
But is that also like... Jay-Z cheated on her, and she's getting older.
No, that's
and she's
Lemonade.
a mom. No, what I'm saying is
Wasn't
this
Lemonade the visual album?
No.
Oh, okay.
is getting filthy all part of like a response to I'm getting older and I feel weird about it. I got kids.
I feel like she
Are
wanted...
any of the songs as fun to dance to as Single Ladies? Because
No.
I feel like they're
You can't
all-
even tell what she's saying in these songs.
I feel like everything that she's released since Single Ladies has been... It really speaks to a lot of people. I'm not saying that, but it's not like Alan was saying. It's not the fun dancey stuff that she used to do.
I talked about all this in my podcast.
Well, we're not on your podcast.
But I'm letting you know.
He's going to shoehorn it in.
No, I'm just... You always talk about I don't promo, but I'm...
Yeah, not here.
On your Instagram.
On your own stuff.
I
Talk
will.
to us like we're people.
I promo it here.
But what I'm saying is, yes, I completely agree with you. Her music has changed.
It's bad, yeah.
It was more so the label had more control over her albums back when, I don't know what type of deal she had, but the label had more control. Now that she has more creative control over her career, and she has all the money she could possibly want, all the status, as you said yesterday, Alan, once you get as big as her, you are free to experiment. So I think this is what she feels like she's earned the clout that she has with her fans, where she can say dirty, nasty things, and people just say, "Oh, it's just Beyonce."
Well,
but I agree. The music is
but
not.
I'm sure it's also calculated as an effort to remain to appeal to a young audience.
Well, yeah,
she's getting older.
This album is more like what I said. It seems like it would be played like Studio 54. It's retro yet futuristic at the same time. It is something that you want, like
a lot of it's
house music.
What I hear, and I like that, but what I hear, it all sounds like angry revenge music.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Well, anyway, here's the clip that she's talking about that Monica Lewinsky wants taken out of that song. Monica Lewinsky'd all over my gown.
But
shouldn't it be Bill Clinton?
Yeah, that should be Bill Clinton.
But here's the thing, though. If you want the word spaz taken out, easily done. Monosyllabic, right? Mm-hmm. Quick. Monica Lewinsky, that's 6 syllables. That's going to be a bit of a harder thing to change than taking that out.
He made a little messy all on my gown, see?
Made a little messy. Yeah, he did it.
Or he got a little messy.
I mean, Monica herself, years ago, was like, it should have been Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Not Monica Lewinsky. Except Monica Lewinsky, listen, Bill Clinton did a whole bunch of things. How are you going to narrow them down? Monica Lewinsky is synonymous with one thing, this poor woman. But that's what she's synonymous with. That's shorthand. Everybody knows what you're talking about when you're talking about Monica Lewinsky.
You know what? When I watched that American Crime Story about the Monica Lewinsky Bill Clinton situation, they talk about how he did bring her to Climax, and I just think that's nice of him.
Climax, Michigan?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, it's wine country. It is beautiful there.
He got her there. He got her all the way there, and so good for him. With a cigar and some care.
But I feel like...
You feel like what?
I feel like Monica Lewinsky has a point. I mean, Khalees got her lyric or her sample removed. The disabled community got their lyric removed. You can't...
What'd she take out of Milkshake?
I don't know if it was Milkshake. I didn't hear that part. I heard,
just a Khalees song.
It probably was Milkshake because that's the only song that anyone knows really by Khalees, or I'm Bossy or something. But
because Beyonce sampled Milkshake.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what it was from. I just didn't hear the song.
Well, there's a songwriter by the name of Diane Warren who's been around for a long time, and she has written billions of hit songs for people. And she tweeted, "Why are there 24 writers on one song?" And the Bayhive went after her to the point, again, these have to be bots. I can't believe that many people care that much. Young people. These are young people who are getting mad, not adults with jobs and families.
They might be adults with jobs and families. And
well,
people are nuts.
People are like, somebody finally, rather than just scream at her, was like, well, you have to give writer credit for samples. And she's like, oh, that I understand.
Yeah, and then
just tell me
okay,
that. You don't have to scream at me. I don't, Well, she's not coming from a sampling songwriting environment. She's a songwriter.
I saw something about one of her songs and about how, because she does have a lot of producers, a lot of writers, and the process it went through, and it had the beginning product and the end product, and the end product was much better. So each little thing that they took away or added did make the song better.
Sure.
So I get that. And when you are a artist like Beyonce, you want to put that level of music out.
I assume she has a good ear. Like, she knows what she wants it to sound like. I've got to take a break here. If you want to text for anything, 35192, you can leave us messages and listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox